Hello and welcome back, dear children. Today I am going to take your computer book 6 and we are going to do Acknowledge series by Amit Publishing House. This is the cover page of a book. Let's click a trendy way to learn computers. So we are going to start with a new chapter and that is chapter 1. So let's read what is chapter 1, what is the name of the chapter? The name of the chapter is Computer Languages. Today in this chapter we are going to learn about the different languages that are used in computer. Like when we speak in different languages. Somebody speaks in English, somebody knows Hindi, somebody else uses Bengali or Madrasi or Malayalam. There are different languages that are used in India. Like that, computer also uses various languages. So let's read what are these languages. So in this chapter, we have already learned that computer follows certain steps to perform any task, and when we perform a sequence of steps to solve any problem, it is called algorithm. So what is algorithm? When we go step by step and complete and solve a particular problem, it is called algorithm. Let us now learn about computer languages used to develop programs. In this chapter we are going to learn about computer languages, language translator and working on language translator. First is computer languages. To communicate with the computers, we need some special languages which is called computer language or programming language. As we already know, we use programming language to communicate with the computer. A computer language is a medium by which instructions are transmitted to the computer to perform a specific task. So, if we want our computer to do a particular type of task, we use this computer language. It is a set of words, symbols and codes that the computer can understand. So computer cannot understand our language, what we are speaking. We speak Hindi or English, it cannot understand that language. For that, there is a set of instructions written in a programming language. So programming language is there which is understood by the computer. The process of writing a program is called programming. So the process that we follow to write a program is programming, and the people who write these programs are called programmers. There are a number of programming languages worldwide. Some languages were developed by specific computers, others were developed by specific uses such as scientific and business applications. So there were many languages developed. Some were developed for the specific computers and some were developed for scientific and business applications. Computer languages are classified into two major categories, and they are, this is our computer language and it is divided into two languages, that is lower level language and high level language. Previously, when it was the starting of computers, this language was used, lower level language was used, but now things are going in a great manner. So now different types of high level languages are used. So first, in the lower level language there are two, that is machine language, it was also known as first generation language, and assembly language, it was known as second generation language. High level language is again divided into three parts: third generation language, fourth generation language and natural language, means it is a fifth generation language. So there were total five generations of languages that we are going to learn. First was machine language and assembly language in the lower level, and third, fourth and natural language in the higher level language group. Coming on to the lower level language, it is short form. In short form we can say it as LLL. A lower level language is a programming language that is machine dependent. It is dependent on a machine. A program written in machine dependent languages runs only on one particular type of computer. Means it can work only on one particular type of computer. There are two categories of low level languages, and they are machine language and assembly language. Machine language is the only language understood by the computer. It is also known as fourth generation language. Machine language is very difficult for programmers to use because it only consists of 2 digits. So the programmers were facing very large amount of difficulty while using this machine language, because it consisted of 0 and 1, means only 2 digits. It was made of 2 digits. These digits were called as binary digits or bits, where the bit 0 represents the off state and 1 represents the on state. So the computer previously used to know only these two, 0 or 1 concept, in which 0 means the command is off and 1 means the command is on. So this was our machine language. Next is assembly language. Assembly language is also known as second generation language, and it is the language in which program codes are written in the form of alphanumeric called mnemonics. We don't read this M, it is read as mnemonics. So alphanumeric means alpha means alphabetical alphabets and numeric means numbers. So it has a combination of alphabets and numbers in it. So instead of 0 and 1, it used alphabets and numbers. In the assembly language, a programmer writes the abbreviations of for A for addition, C for compare, L for load, M for multiply. Because of this feature, it is also known as symbolic language. So assembly language is also known as symbolic language because it uses both alphabets and numbers in it, and all these everything was written by the programmer in the form of abbreviation. Next comes the high level language. What is high level language? High level language is a programming language that enables a programmer to write programs that are machine independent. Means when this came in existence, the programs were machine independent, means it did not depend on the machine now. This type of languages are considered as high level language because they are closer to human language, means humans, we are the humans, and it was close to our language and away from machine language. The main advantage of high level language was over low level language is that it is easier to read, write and maintain. So this was the main advantage of this. Let's discuss about some more high level languages. Third generation was the first language in the high level category. In third generation language, the programmer writes a series of English like words that tell the computer what to accomplish and how to do. Many third generation languages also use arithmetic operations such as asterisk for multiplication, this was for addition, and this for subtraction, and this slash was used for division. Some earlier procedural 3Gs are Basic, Pascal, C and Fortran. So these were the 3 languages that was based on the third generation language. So these are the name of the programs. Some other advantages of such advanced object oriented 3GL are C++, Java and C asterisk. So these are more advanced than these programming languages. So all these came in the category of third generation language. Here the question is given, write the name of any 3 languages of the third generation. So here is the third generation, we can write Basic, Pascal and C in this. So write down Basic, Pascal and C. We can write all these 3 in this. Next come on to the fourth generation language. This is the second language of the high level category. The fourth generation languages are also use English like statements. They specify what the program should accomplish without explaining how. A 4GL is fast and requires less time and effort on the part of the programmer. So the programmer has to do less work here. It requires less time and less effort here. 4GLs are so easy to use, and programmers with very little programming background can also develop programs in this. So those who have very less programming background like we can also develop these programs here. So the example of 4GLs are SQL, PERL and Python, etc. We are going to learn about Python in our book. Next is natural language. It is a fifth generation language. The fifth generation language is also known as natural language, as the programming language that has visible tools to develop a program. Examples of fifth generation languages are Mercury, OPS5 and Prolog. Natural language is very easy to use. Natural language are often associated with expert system and artificial intelligence. So this fifth generation is based on these two. It comprises of the expert system and also artificial intelligence. So this was our fifth generation. Next, we have already learned the different types of languages that were developed lower and higher level. Now we are going to learn the advantages of high level language. What are the advantages? High level language is user friendly and easy to maintain. It is similar to English language with vocabulary and words and symbols, therefore it is very easy to run. It requires less time to write a program. In this we need less time, and in this it is problem oriented rather than machine based. So it relies less on machine, and it is machine independent. The high level language is machine independent. This is the last point of the advantages of high level language. Next comes, what are the disadvantages of high level languages? A high level language has to be translated into machine language by the translator, and thus it wastes a lot of computer time. So this is the main disadvantage, that it has to be translated into machine language. It is easier for us, but the problem comes when it is to be translated, and when at the time of translating it takes a lot of waste a lot of computer time. The object code generally generated by the translator might be inefficient as compared to the equivalent assembly language program. So the object code that is generated by the translator might be inefficient as compared to the assembly language. So this is also a disadvantage of high level language. Now we have learned that to translate that high level language we need a translator. So we are going to learn about translator. Language translator. A language translator is a software that converts a high level language program into a machine language. There are three types of language translators. So what are they? Let's learn. First is assembler. This is also a language translator, compiler and interpreter. So for translating our commands we need all these three language translators. So first come on to the assembler. An assembler is a program used to translate assembly language into machine language so that the computer can understand it. As we already know that computer only understands the machine language. So this assembler translates the assembly language into the machine language so that it can understand, and the assembler enables the computer to convert the assembly language instruction into machine code, that is 0 and 1. As we already know, computer knows this language. Next comes the compiler. What is the use of compiler? A compiler is a software that converts the entire source program into machine language. So entire source program is, it only changes the assembly language, and this changes the entire source program into the machine language before executing it or running it. It converts the entire high level language program into machine language. at once and displays the error for the whole program together. So whatever error is in our program, it displays it whole at a time, at the one time only, at the last. Next is interpreter. The interpreter is also a software that converts the entire source program. This also does the same work as our compiler. It also turns the entire source program in the machine language before executing it, and it translates and executes one statement at a time. So what this compiler does, it displays the result at the end of the completing of the exam of the program, and what this interpreter did, this executes one statement at a time. It displays the error one line at the time, and it goes to the next line only after the error is corrected. So this interpreter worked step by step. So this is interpreter works as step by step, and compiler works the whole and displays the result in the end, displays the error in the end. So this is the difference between the two, the compiler and the interpreter. Both do the same job but in a different way. Working on language translator. How can we work on language translator? The programs written in the high level language must be translated into machine language by using the translator called compiler or interpreter. So by using these two, we can translate our high level language into machine language. Suppose here some example is given. High level language is 3 multiplied 2. We already know, we can read this. This is the input given to the language translator, means to the compiler or the interpreter, and then it is converted by this interpreter or compiler into machine language, and the machine code is 01001. So this is the language that the computer knows, and this is the language that we know. So we can understand this easily, and computer can understand this language easily. So now let's come to the recall time. A computer language is the medium by which instructions are transmitted to the computer or perform a specific task. A language translator is a software that converts a high level language program into a machine language. So these were the 2 points of recall time. Now let's come to the book exercise quickly. Take out your pencils. Okay, first question here given is, the process of writing a program is called. So the correct answer is programming is the process of writing a program. Next is, which of the following languages is known as second generation language? So assembly language is known as the second generation language. Which of the following is an example of fourth generation language? So SQL is the example of fourth generation language. High level language requires dash to write a program. So what it requires? It requires less time to write a program. By using high level language, we need less time. Come to fill in the blanks. So first question in the fill in the blanks category is, the process of writing a program is called. So it's very easy. The process of writing a program is programming. Write it down. Next one is, people who write the programs are called, yes, obviously they are called programmers. Next is, computer languages are classified into dash major categories. So it is classified into two major categories, lower level language and high level language. A dash language is a programming language that is machine dependent. So what is that? It is low level language. Fifth one is, Dash language is also known as second generation language. It is also known as second generation language. Yes, we have done it before also. Assembly language. Assembly language is also known as second generation language. Next come to true and false. Interpreter translates and executes one statement at a time. So yes, this is true. High level language is machine dependent. No, this is false. Next is third generation language, also known as English, also uses English-like statement. Yes, this is also true. Compiler converts the entire high level language program into machine level language at once. Yes, this is also true. Next is, only second one is false and rest three are true. Next comes question and answers. So first question is, what do you mean by programming language? So programming language is a special language that is used to communicate with the computer. Next is, write one advantage of high level language. One advantage of high level language is that it is very user friendly and it is machine independent. Next is, what is the use of language translator? So language translator is used to translate our language to machine language. So this is the use of language translator, and it also converts the high level language that we use into machine language. Explain the low level language and with its type. So low level language is a machine language that was used previously, and these are of two types. One is machine language and another one is the assembly language. Machine language is also known as the first generation language. Assembly language is the second generation language, and these were more dependent on the computer. So it was, you can say it was in the context of computers and it was in their favor. Next is, differentiate between compiler and interpreter. So compiler and interpreter do the same work of translating the high level language to the machine language, but the only difference between the two is that a compiler works and gives the errors, displays the error at the last of completing all the procedure. It displays the error in the last. But the interpreter, it follows one line and then displays the result there. It works line by line and displays the result after that, and till the action is not taken, till that error is not corrected, it cannot go to the next line. So this is interpreter. So these were the differences between compiler and interpreter. Children, this was the first chapter of your book. I hope you understood everything very clearly, and if you have any query you can ask. And this was all for today. I'll be waiting for you in the next class. Till then, stay elated.